When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying. Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
All right, let's move on to Sunday morning football. Let's move on to London, because that's where the Minnesota Vikings, who are 2-2, will be facing the 1-3 Cleveland Browns. Interesting to note that Cleveland is considered the home team here, which means that Minnesota, even though back-to-back weeks in Europe, they've been the visitor both times. The projected total is 36.5 points, while the Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. That means Vegas is telling us that they expect the Cleveland Browns to score 16.5, while the Vikings score 20. As far as injuries, Minnesota is still going to be without J.J. McCarthy, who may start practicing this week, and Aaron Jones, starting running back. They also have some issues on their offensive line, which may explain a little bit of what happened last week. But right tackle Brian O'Neill is week to week. Left guard Donovan Jackson and center Ryan Kelly are questionable. On Cleveland's side, their major injury is wide receiver Cedric Tillman. Hamstring injury. Latest report is he will be out for weeks. That may open up opportunities for Isaiah Bond or Jamari Thrash. Like Steph, who you got?
Well, I'll start with the Vikings first. Last week, like you said, they was in Dublin as the away team, and after falling behind early against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Carson Wentz helped bring the Vikings back on a furious comeback in the final quarter, but it wasn't enough, and they ultimately fell to the Steelers 24-21. Now, some people want to say it was, hard to put the blame on Wentz because of the offensive line. They were dropping like flies, and I do agree to a certain degree. Like he was 30 or 46 for 350 yards and a pair of touchdowns, but he also had a pair of interceptions also, albeit on tip balls, but still interceptions are interceptions. And he admitted he could have done more to avoid being sacked 6 times. At the same time, like I said, they lost 3/5 of their offensive line. He got hit numerous times. So just the fact that he was able to put 350 after pretty much getting the snap beat out of him, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, do you know that the only people left on the offensive line from their starting 5 is Christian Darrisaw and Will Freeze? Going against this ferocious Browns defense, that doesn't seem good. Now, as for the Browns, they have a quandary at quarterback, which we've known during the offseason. You have Flacco, you have Gabriel, and you have Shador Sanders. Here's a little stat. Out of the 33 quarterbacks who have made at least 56 pass attempts this year, Flacco is last in the league with a 60.3 passer rating, and he has the second worst completion rate at 58.1%. And finally, he has 6 interceptions, which are second most in the league. Now, on the other hand, their defense has not allowed a quarterback to have a 300-yard game passing in 32 straight games. A couple years ago, that would have been the equivalent of 2 seasons, the longest run in the NFL. And one last stat, they have 9 consecutive games going back to last season in which the Browns have scored, at least unfortunately offense, have scored 17 or fewer points. So that over-under, with all those being said, I guess we're going under. 36 and a half is very low, but combination of Browns defense, poorest offensive line, Browns quarterback, inept, equals hardly no points. But I do believe that the Vikings are going to cover by hook or by crook, just because the amount of talent that they have on offense, they're going to find a way to score. And I just don't think the Browns can match whatever points that the Vikings put on the board. So Vikings -3.5, over under.
Well, I can't catch up with you if I'm just going to agree with you all the time, but I am agreeing. Cleveland's offense has looked putrid all season. Flacco's magic seems to be missing in action. While meanwhile, the Vikings have lost so much of their linemen, and we saw what happened last week when Pittsburgh decided to put the blitz on them. Does Cleveland need to? I don't know. Myles Garrett is a one-man blitz all by himself. I am going with the under. It's really uncomfortable going with the under when the projected total is so low. But when I look at the score broken down, 20 to 16 and a half, I don't think Cleveland's scoring that many points. So I feel a little bit more comfortable going with the under. And I think I'm going with the Vikings here minus the 3.5. I definitely have them to win. And my thinking here is simple. They've been in Europe. They should be adjusted. Whatever comfortability they could have, they will have. I feel like this is going to be basically a Vikings home game. So I like them with the 3.5.
This is a 19 Media Group presentation.
He was on site like, listen, what you thought I wasn't going to see you? Heard what you said. Keep my name out your mouth.
That wasn't much
I
of a
like that
confrontation.
energy. I ain't going to lie. I like that energy.
I'm not impressed. He screamed at him from far away. He could have walked up to him and said, hey,
on site. I didn't say up close. On site. 50 yards away.
On site. Down that way. Hey, you.